I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, I caught my wife cheating. That's definitely not something any man would like to experience. And I've got two emails I'm going to go through with you today. The first guy, he literally caught his wife cheating. And the sad thing is he still wants this woman back, and he doesn't really realize the fact that this is just the way she is. And plus, she's not really making any effort to make things work as well. And I got a second email as a guy who thought everything was great in his relationship. He'd been with his girlfriend of 3 years, and about a month or so ago, they made some new friends with this new group of people, and one of them happened to be a guy, and he thought, hey, this dude's really cool. They started hanging out. They became friends. The guy would come by the house all the time, and there were times where he would come by when he wasn't around and just hang out with his wife. Then basically a couple weeks ago, she admitted that she hooked up with this new friend. So I got a quote that I wrote in this topic, and then we're going to go through these emails, see what you can learn from these kinds of situations, so you make a good job, you do a good job, I should say, of making sure you select a good quality woman if you're looking to settle down, get married, or have a monogamous relationship. And so the quote says, people with a healthy self-esteem, who love and respect themselves, who love and respect other people, and who place a high value on loyalty, would never cheat on a lover or spouse, even if they are unhappy, because it is not honorable or the right thing to do. They simply will end their relationship when they are unhappy instead of looking for fulfillment outside of their relationship. When a relationship ends, they take time to grieve and develop a sense of peace within themselves before they start dating again. People who cheat tend to be insecure, selfish, narcissistic, unhappy, and have a low self-worth. They have a low opinion of themselves. They project this onto other people and often feel no remorse or regret for hurting other people. Therefore, people who have a history of cheating, deception, and a total lack of concern for the feelings of other people should never be considered potential marriage partners, relationship material, or someone to be in an exclusive relationship with. However, they can make great sex playmates, friends with benefits, or people to have an open relationship with. So let's go through the first guy's email. He says, hey coach, first and foremost, thank you for all that you've done and continue to do. If it wasn't for you, I would still be a lost soul wondering what the hell I am doing with my life and time, and would still have been chasing and pursuing my cheating wife. Well, I'm glad you finally got some sanity and you realize the error of your ways. I watch your videos daily, plus I've read your book many times, and I've grown as a man, so thank you once again. Well, you're welcome. He says, I found out a few months ago my wife of 3 years, we had been together for 8, has cheated on me with a coworker. Even though the cheating action is on her, I know I played parts in the past that caused her to have resentment towards me. Well, it still doesn't excuse the fact that she cheated on you. So we spent almost every day together, but she does blame me for neglecting her and hanging out with my friends a lot. I see them maybe twice a week, and unfortunately, she never truly had her own friends. She sounds like a winner. Anyway, I'll try to make this... You wonder about that. Somebody doesn't have any friends at all? What does that tell you? Probably she fucked the boyfriends of a few girlfriends of hers, and that's why their girlfriends don't hang out with her anymore. He says, anyway, I'll try to make the story of the last 2 months short for this email. It seemed that a switch has been pulled on her ever since she cheated and I caught her. I will admit I chased and acted like a needy bitch way before I got your book or found you online. However, after finding you, I learned to pull back and let her chase me. It has worked at times, yet it changes daily. Well, if you're with a cheater, somebody that treats you this way, they need to do 100% of the calling, texting, and pursuing. You don't, because if you chase after somebody who's already disrespecting you like that, you're just inviting them to do more of it. But I mean, at the end of the day, if she's happy, she'll probably be faithful. But if she's not happy, well, she's gonna fuck somebody else. That's the kind of woman she is. She ain't gonna try to work things out, and she doesn't have the guts to just leave you and end the relationship. She's just gonna go get fucked by somebody else and not really feel any remorse for it. We still spend time together, yet I see that she's hot and cold, very much on the fence, backs away. Well, if she's backing away, it's obviously because you're still chasing her. He says, she's still talking to him and has shown little to no affection towards me. It's another reason why you don't run after somebody who's cheating, still talking to the guy who she's cheating with, and is cold, hot and cold and indifferent towards you. I've acted weak at times and found myself what was I just saying? Over pursuing, texting too much, and looking for any way to be closer, as I wonder how it could be that easy for her to just stop giving a fuck about me when we were the closest thing ever. Well, most people don't see the fact that her attraction level drops slowly over time. And you're still trying to force things. Even though you say you've been watching my book and you watch my videos all the time, it's obvious because you're run by your emotions and you're in a fearful state. You really haven't modified your behavior that much. Remember, no one will ever do or say anything to you that you don't invite them to do. And the fact that you're still pursuing and you're still chasing your cheating wife, why should she change her habits? She can have her cake and eat it too. You're sitting around in backup position while she's still diddling her coworker. There's no consequences for that. That's why you never reach out, ever. And you never text somebody. And if she reaches out, invite her over to make dinner together, hang out, have fun, and hook up while you look for somebody who's got their shit together. And then you go on about your divorce proceeding. He says, we were the couple people love to be around and get advice from. Well, maybe that was true in the past, but it certainly ain't true now. She's been living at her aunt's house, and we agreed on space about a week after I caught her cheating. Yet she just never came back home or made any solid choices to make this work. Because you were still chasing her and acting like a weak bitch in your own words. There's no reason for her to change her behavior. It doesn't look like you putting your foot down and you're saying, fuck this, I'm going to move on with my life. You're still waiting for her to change her behavior, but your behavior is actually enabling her behavior and giving her permission to continue jerking her around, man. It's time to grow some balls, man, and have some self-respect. Because you don't get any when you grovel and you run after a woman who treats you this way. Think about it. You have no fucking self-respect at all. You're not acting like a guy who values his self-worth at all. And therefore, that's why she treats you like an option or a backup. There's no reason for her to make any effort to win you back. Because you're still running after her, chasing her mind, trying to get her to stop cheating with the other guy. It's not going to happen, man. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You're literally continually inviting her to treat you this way because you won't stand up for yourself, because you're literally fearful you're going to lose her. She unilaterally changed the relationship. We share a dog who lives with me, which she wants to see often, yet when she's around me and him, she shows no more emotion towards the idea of moving back or any affection when she's around me. Why would you call somebody and invite them over when this is how they treat you? Think about it. Invite her over, hang out, have fun, and hook up. And when she's not around, she's fucking somebody else. You should start dating new people. He says, I feel if she's around me because I ask and to see the dog, which she knows can't live at her aunt's. Again, more evidence that you're continuing to pursue her. Nothing's going to change with you. Haven't modified your behavior at all since you found my work. It's like you read it, but yet you just keep going. It's like there's guys and girls out there that read the book, but then they don't change their behavior and they expect things to change. It's like you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to continue to get what you've always got. And so even though you've read my book, at least you say you have, and you're watching videos and you say you're learning all these great things, nothing's changed. You haven't done anything different. You're still getting the same results. I feel she feels sorry for me, yet she has no problem living her life like a rebellious teenager. Again, more evidence that you're sitting around waiting for her to change and come back. It's never going to happen as long as you act this way. If you valued yourself and you loved yourself, you'd never call or text her again. And if she wanted to come over and create an opportunity for sex to happen, you'd make dinner together. And if she doesn't want to do that, you say, well, give me a call when you change your mind, because I'm not interested in being your platonic friend. It's like, just call me when you change your mind. You got to be willing to stand up for yourself and negotiate what you want. The strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. And you're being a really piss-poor negotiator, dude. She has pushed away her friends, family, and myself. I'm scared I'm going to lose her forever. What was I just saying a few minutes ago? You're in a fearful state. What you fear, you attract. So you're completely run by your emotions and your fear of losing her. So everything you do and everything you say is constantly communicating, I don't deserve you, I'm not worthy of you, and you just keep running after her. And you're literally pushing her out of your life and into the arms of another guy with your behavior. He says, and it sucks, and I'm the only one who's putting in 100%, so that tells me you're doing 100% of the pursuing. You may have backed off at some times, which you've mentioned, and you see that it has a positive effect on her, but you're not consistently doing it. Remember, when somebody treats you this way, it's got to be their idea to want to work things out. With you trying to force it, there's no reason for her to get to that point because there's nothing that she fears losing. You're sitting around waiting because you have no respect. If you don't respect yourself and you let a woman walk all over you like this, she's going to have zero respect. And when a woman doesn't respect a guy, she'll never love him. And she's not putting in any effort. When we go on dates, hang out, have fun, and hook up, the hookup is just kissing as she's pulling herself back emotionally. Again, you're pursuing a woman and chasing a woman. What do you expect, dude? You're violating every principle in my book. And you're not getting any success. And as long as you keep up with this needy, desperate act, it's not going to change. And eventually she'll probably divorce you and move in with somebody else. And then you'll really feel like a sucker. He says it fucking sucks. Since the other guy is still in the picture, it's taking her emotional attraction towards me away. Well, you're not doing anything to help it by pursuing her and running after her and trying to change her mind. I'm lost to see what my next step would be. I know you will have the advice and guidance to me and get this to lead me and get this relationship in the right direction. He says, thanks, coach. It's been a pleasure finding you and following you and your purpose towards helping guys like myself. Well, knowledge is only potential power. Knowledge only has power when you apply it. So you're reading and you're learning all this stuff. You've applied a little bit and you see that it works, but 99% of the time your behavior is not changed at all. And it's until you stop all pursuit, stop all calling, stop all texting, and just move on with your life as if it's over. She's still fucking this other guy and she's not living with you, so she's not participating in your marriage or your relationship. And since you're just kissing her every now and then, you're really just a friend. You're not even a friends with benefits because you keep chasing after her and trying to force her to have sex with you. And it's obvious her needs are getting met by this other guy. I mean, have some self-respect, dude. You start getting some choices and some options and some other women in your life, it'll completely change how you're showing up. You won't be running after this girl and groveling like you are, and her attitude will change. But like I said, at this point forward, she's shown you what she is. She's a cheater. She's a liar, and she doesn't respect you at all as a man. And since she doesn't respect you, she certainly, I guarantee you, doesn't love you because she doesn't treat you like somebody she loves. She really is kind of treating you like a guy that she pities and that she feels sorry for. I mean, think about it, dude. Have some fucking self-respect. So let's move on to the next guy's email. And so he says, hey, coach, I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend for about 3 years now and was actually about to pop the question. That's why it's so important to read my book, to learn the fundamentals, to make sure you're making a good choice. If you want to have a long-term monogamous relationship or you want to settle down and get married, you got to marry somebody that places a high value on loyalty and family. And they come from a good family. And they're the type of person that understands how to communicate like an adult, and they refuse to go to bed until whatever the problem or issue is discussed and worked out. And if you don't have those two things, nothing else fucking matters because it'll never fucking work. You have to have that. You have to have somebody who loyalty means the world to, and they act in ways that are consistent with that. It's like if you're dating somebody and they're telling you about, oh, I cheated on this guy and I cheated on that guy, you're fucking deluding yourself if you think that they're going to all of a sudden change when they're with you. Because every guy, I don't care who you are, you're going to get complacent. You're going to get caught up in your career or your business or your life, and you're not going to date and court your girlfriend like you should. And when you're with somebody that doesn't place a high value on loyalty, when you no longer stop treating them like you once did, they just start looking for somebody else to fuck. That's just how they operate. He said, we had the perfect relationship. Sure, you thought it was perfect. filled with tons of fun and love. I'd say you're a little delusional about how great your relationship was. About a month ago, we had started hanging out with some new friends, and one of them more than the others. It seemed to me that he was a really cool guy and we had a lot in common, so needless to say, we became friends easily. He sounds like a wolf in sheep's clothing. He began coming over more and more, and even more when I was at work. That definitely should make your spidey sense tingle. And she was home alone. Think about it. Come on. I thought nothing of it as I trusted my girlfriend with my life. Obviously, you made a bad choice. And everybody, men and women both, we all tend to project our fantasy onto the other person, and we ignore the reality of what's really there. It's like Ayn Rand said, you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And if you've read my book, or once you read it, you'll be able to spot character flaws in your girlfriend and realize that pattern was always there. You got busy at work, you invited the guy over, you allowed it to continue happening. If I was with my girlfriend, or if I was married and some dude's coming over all the time when I'm not there, I'd be going, that's not appropriate. I'd say, that's just not cool. This guy should not be coming over to see you more in the middle of the day when I'm at work. That tells me he's fucking up to something. Think if he really was a good guy out of respect for your friendship, he would never do that. He'd want to come over when both of you were there. And he certainly wouldn't come over most of the time when you're not even around. He's a fucking scumbag. That guy, that ain't no friend. He's a fucking snake in the grass. That guy has no fucking honor and no integrity. He knew exactly what he was doing. He blew sunshine up your ass because he wanted to fuck your girlfriend. He says, I knew she would never cheat. Come on, man. Last night, she actually admitted to me that she had slept with him about 2 weeks ago. I mean, you can see that coming a mile away. I feel absolutely betrayed and broken. She is very obviously sorry about it. Yeah, she's sorry about it until it happens again. This is not somebody you want to marry, dude. I'm sorry, but this is a fucking deal breaker. You can have a great open relationship, sex playmate, friends with benefits, but loyalty doesn't mean shit to this girl. You're fucking living with her. And she fucked some guy she'd only known for a couple of weeks. Well, obviously she's not crazy head over heels in love with you, and things weren't so wonderful like you thought they were. She ain't no Alice in Wonderland. She says it was only once and it was a mistake. Yeah, it's a mistake until it happens again. She claims that he came on to her. Probably, more than likely he did. I mean, he was the one that decided to come over more and more, but she allowed it. No one will ever do or say anything to you that you don't invite them to do. And a good woman, a loyal woman, would say, yeah, I'd love to see you, but I think it's a little inappropriate for you to be coming over during the day when my husband or my boyfriend's not around. But we'd love to see you and hang out. I'll talk to Bob or whatever his name happens to be, and we'll get in touch with you. And then they'll have Bob call him. And if she had any kind of suspicion that his intentions were that he wanted to get into her pants, she'd say, I think he's trying to get around me or get me alone because he wants to come on to me. And then a good woman will say that. And then they'll have a discussion about it and say, you know what, let's not have that guy in our life. I feel as though I no longer know her. And I feel as though everything we had is now gone. Well, friends with benefits, open relationship, fuck buddy, sex playmate, that's all she's good for. That's the reality. Now you know the nature of the creature you're dealing with. And so you can make an informed decision. If that's acceptable, hey, great. But if you're looking for somebody to set out on marry, man, she ain't it, man. It's never going to happen. She does it to you once, she'll do it again. If she's done it to other boyfriends in the past, she'll do it to you. All you got to do is slip up and get lazy and complacent. This is what happens. It's predictable like the fucking sun coming up every day. He says, however, I did not leave her. I just need some advice as how to move past this. You're never going to be able to move past this. The trust is gone. You're never going to be able to trust her again. If you think that you're going to be able to trust her and that she's going to be faithful and loyal to you after this happens, it'll never fucking happen. In the back of your mind, you go on a business trip, say you're 10 years from now, you're with this girl. And you get kids with her, you go on a business trip, you're kind of short with her, maybe you had a stressful day or whatever, and you're going to be laying there in bed at night going, yeah, she was talking about that neighbor next door, how he came over and brought some wine, and he was having girlfriend problems. Yeah, you don't want to be that guy, dude. You'll be sleeping with one eye open the rest of your fucking life. I still love her just as much as before I found out. Then great, have an open relationship with her, and it won't be an issue. She can fuck whoever she wants, and you can fuck whoever you want. He says, you can't put a square peg in a round hole, and that's what you got here. Your wife's a square peg, and you want a round hole. It's not gonna happen. I just can't seem to get the image of the two of them out of my mind, and you never will. No matter how good things get, you're still gonna think about that in the back of your mind. Would she cheat on me again? Yeah, if the circumstances are just like they were this time, yeah, she'll fuck somebody else. She can't help it. That's who she is. Doesn't mean that she's a horrible, awful woman, evil. She just doesn't place a high value on loyalty and family and commitment. It doesn't mean as much to her as it does to you. It's honestly driving me crazy. These past few days have been hell, and I don't want this to continue to affect my sleep, appetite, and, well, basically everything I do throughout the day. Well, you got a decision to make. You're either your relationship is either going to change and become an open relationship, friends with benefits, sex playmate, or if you want an exclusive monogamous type of relationship, you can't have it with somebody like her. She's not capable of it. She's just not built that way. Her belief system doesn't support it, and no amount of begging and pleading on her part is going to cause her to be this way. She's just going to tell you what you want to hear, and she'll probably believe it herself, but at some point in time, you go back to the same way that you were, it'll happen again, dude. That's just the way she is. That's the reality. Like I said, you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching with yours truly. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.